You can change your life by changing your behaviors, and only three variables drive those behaviors: motivation, ability, and prompt. A behavior happens when the three elements of MAP come together at the same moment. The tiny habit method is combination of anchor moment, an existing routine in your life, tiny behavior, and then celebrate immediately to create positive emotion. Because people change best by feeling good. Tiny Habit by BJ FOGG. The essence of tiny habit is this: take a behavior you want, make it tiny, find where it fits naturally in your life, and nurture its growth. If you want to create long-term change, it's best to start small. The book is packed with big ideas and really can change your life. I'm glad to share a few of my favorite ideas we can apply to our lives today. Most of us want to make some kind of change. Eat healthier, lose weight, exercise more, reduce stress, get better sleep. We want to be better parents, more productive and creative. But there is a painful gap between what people want and what they actually do. If you follow the tiny habits process, you will start taking a different route. This book shows you how to easily and joyfully bridge the gap, no matter the size, between who you are now and who you want to be. The FOGG behavior model represents the three universal elements of behavior and their relationship to one another. A behavior happens when the three elements of MAP come together at the same moment. On the y-axis we have our motivation, and on the x-axis we have our ability. Then we have a prompt. The prompt can show up either above or below the action line. If our motivation is high and our ability is high, the prompt will fail above the action line and we do the behavior. If, on the other hand, we have low motivation and our ability is low, we won't do the behavior. Consider this visual representation of B equal MAP, which shows how motivation and ability work in relationship to each other. Let's see the scrolling in bed behavior. Sky-high motivation and high ability just need be prompt, which phone alarm every morning or app notification do the job very well. Doesn't matter how successful a person is, unless something change, he or she likely to keep scrolling in bed. The more motivated you are to do a behavior, the more likely you are to do the behavior. When motivation is high, people not only take action when prompted, they can also do difficult things, like a story about one mother saving her child from burning building. Using ability to create habits. Unlike motivation, ability is reliable. If you make a behavior easy to do, not a difficult behavior like reading a whole book each day, your motivation can still be low, but you will be above the action line. This is one of the hacks in the tiny habits method. Make the behavior so tiny that you don't need much motivation. Reading one-page book is easy to accomplish, so you are much more likely to keep it as a habit. Instead of aiming for 20 minutes of meditation each day, start with 3 breaths. Instead of 30 minutes exercise, start with 30 seconds of stretching your body or just 1-2 push-ups. You are building skills, confidence, and wire in these tiny behaviors until they took root as a habits. Then they will grow and give you a sense of resilience and confidence. Behavior becomes easier when you repeat. Every day you do the behavior, you build a bit more muscle strength, flexibility, and skill. This makes the behavior easier and easier to do. moving the behavior farther and farther to the right on the horizontal axis. And if you feel successful, your motivation will also increase. You need to have both motivation and ability for a behavior to land above the action line. But motivation and ability can work together like teammates. If one is weak, the other needs to be strong to get you above the curve. No behavior happens without a prompt. If you don't have a prompt, your level of motivation and ability don't matter. No prompt, no behavior. Motivation and ability are continuous variables. You always have some level of motivation and ability for any given behavior. But a prompt is like lightning. It comes and goes. If you don't hear the phone ring, you don't answer it. 3 steps for troubleshooting a behavior. First, check to see if there is a prompt to do the behavior. Second, see if the person has the ability to do the behavior. And the last one, see if the person is motivated to do the behavior. How to make behavior easier? There are 3 options to increasing ability. First, you can train people, giving them more skills, more ability to do the target behavior. That's the hard choice. Don't take this route unless you really must. Training people is hard work, and most people resist learning new things. Another option is to give someone a tool or resource that makes the behavior easier to do. For example, a cookbook makes cooking at home easier to do. The third option is scale back the target behavior so it's easier to do. That's the tiny habit method approach. If your motivation level is high, using all 3 options set you up for success. If not, start tiny. Prompts. We experience hundreds of prompts each day, yet we barely notice most of them. The stoplight turns green, you hit the gas. You are offered a cheese sample at the grocery store, you eat it. A notification pops up on your computer screen, letting you know you have a new email you click to open. Some prompts exist naturally. You feel a few drops of rain on your arm, so you open your umbrella. Some prompts are designed. A smoke alarm blares, so you open a few windows and rescue that forgotten pizza in the oven. Whether natural or designed, a prompt says, "Do this behavior now." People respond reliably to prompts when they are motivated and able, which is exactly what makes well-timed prompts so powerful. 3 types of prompts. First, person prompts. This prompt type relies on something inside of you to do a behavior. Our bodies remind us to do necessary things like eat and sleep. Second, context prompts. This prompt is anything in your environment that cues you to take action, like sticky notes, app notification, or your phone ringing. 3. Action prompts or anchors. Those are something in your life that is already stable and solid. Identify your anchors. Your anchor must be something that happens reliably in your life. You already have many routines that occur consistently enough to be used as an anchor. People typically have the most routines in the morning, like make bed, wash face, make coffee or tea, and so on. This makes morning fertile soil for cultivating new habits. Try to make a list of unique to you anchors, and once you have a collection of anchors to choose from, look closely at the new habits you want to cultivate so you can pair your new habit with the best anchor. The anatomy of tiny habits. How to design for behavior. First, anchor moment. An existing routine like brushing your teeth or an event that happened like a phone ringing, the anchor moment reminds you to do new tiny behavior. Second, new tiny behavior. A simple version of new habit you want, such as flossing one tooth or doing 2 push-ups. You do the tiny behavior immediately after the anchor moment. Third one, the instant celebration, something you do to create positive emotion, such as saying, I did a good job. You celebrate immediately after doing the new tiny behavior. If there is a habit you want, find the right anchor within your current routine to serve as your prompt. It is called anchor because you are attaching your new habit to something solid and reliable. Habits can form very quickly as long as people have a strong positive emotion connected to the behavior. There is a direct connection between what you feel when you do a behavior and the likelihood that you will repeat the behavior in the future. Consider how social media becoming more and more popular by giving the feeling of success to people. Feeling good is a vital part of the tiny habit method. When you celebrate in the tiny habit way, you create a positive feeling inside yourself on demand. By feeling good at the right moment, you cause your brain to recognize and encode the sequence of behavior you just performed. In other words, you can hack your brain to create a habit by celebrating and self-reinforcing. Your celebration does not have to be something you say out loud or even physically express. The only rule is that it has to be something said or done that makes you feel good and create a feeling of success, feeling shine. The most important principles when designing for behavior change. Number one, help people do what they already want to do. And number two, help people feel successful. These two maxims also apply to how we design change in our own lives. We all need to do two things: help ourselves to what we already want to do, and help ourselves feel successful. How to stop bad behaviors. You can disrupt a behavior you don't want by removing the prompt. Removing the prompt is your best first move to stop a behavior from happening. But if removing the prompt does not stop your unwanted behavior, then you should work on ability and motivation. As we wrap up this summary, I encourage you to explore and read the full book. I barely scratched the surface of all the wisdom shared by BJ FOGG. Thank you for being here at Chapter Clarity. Keep learning and growing, and remember, your potential is limitless.